Hey, what's up, you guys? What do you think of this angle? This is really weird. I feel like my bra is showing. But anyway, today's video is going to be my May favorites. I wanted to get this video out a little bit early because I have a feeling that on Sunday, when my parents come and help kind of move things out, that they're going to take a lot of my makeup with them, and I'm gonna be stuck to just the basics. So I wanted to get this video out before that, so that way I have everything to choose from. I have a lot of makeup products, and then I have some random not makeup things as well. So let's just jump right into it, shall we? I'm gonna start off with the non-makeup things first. I have two that are actually physically that I have, and then I have a TV show that I'll talk about at the end. So the first thing is a skincare product. It's the Studio 35 Beauty Mint Facial Mask. I have been using this like there's no tomorrow. It doesn't even look like it, but I have been in love with this. This is like the Walgreens generic version of the Queen Helene Mint Julep Mask, which I really do like, but I feel like I kind of like this better because this I feel like is thicker. Or no, I don't know. It's like a different consistency. It's actually thinner, I think, than the Queen Helene one, which is nice because it's easy to kind of blend all over your face. I feel like the Queen Helene one had a little bit more of a thick texture, and so it was really you had to really rub it in. And this one, because it's thinner, it just kind of glides over the face. It does, I feel take a little bit longer, just a smidge longer to fully dry than the Queen Helene one, but I really like the feeling of the mint mask. I have a couple other little sample packets of the other Studio 35 beauty masks, but the mint one is my favorite because I love that tingle that you get. So this is really nice, super affordable. Last I went to Walgreens, they didn't even sell the Queen Helene one, so I was forced to get this, but I think I do like this better than the original. Then my other non-beauty favorites are these sandals. I literally just got these last weekend, so I don't know if they can really be considered a favorite, but I just think they're so cute. These were total impulse buy. They're from Adidas. I don't really even know the style, but they look like this. And I was with my friend and we were at the store looking for shoes for her. She didn't even wind up really getting her shoes, but I just randomly saw these sandals and I was like, I'm just gonna try these on because I really was drawn to this flowery pattern on the front. Guys, this is sticking your foot into, what did I call it? A heaven sack. It's so comfy. These are kind of foamy bottoms. And then the inner rim of this band is a memory foam too. So you just feel super comfortable. The only thing is I have to really adjust to walking in these because I feel with a flip-flop, you have that little middle thing that you can kind of grip onto when you walk. With these, I feel my foot kind of slides out of them because it is such a smooth texture. I feel just for every day, kind of just walking around, these would be fine. But for me, walking to class and trying to rush and get to where I need to go, these are not the greatest of footwear. But even when you're in class, just sitting with your feet in these is so comfortable. So now moving on to makeup things. I'm going to talk about the TV show last because I will ramble on about it forever. The first couple things are face products. This first one I'm not going to go into too much detail because I talked about it last month. It's the Urban Decay Naked Skin One and Done Foundation. I am still loving this. You can see that I've used a lot of it. My plan was for this to last my California trip. I don't really know if that's going to happen at the rate that I'm using it. I might need to repurchase it before the trip. But it's really, really nice, light coverage, and with a powder, it stays all day. And then I've come up with a combination of foundations. I've been watching that girl Shay XO, I think her username is, on YouTube, and a lot of her tutorials, she combines foundations, which before watching her, I had never really thought of doing. And I have two foundations that I kind of don't really like, and I want to kind of use them up, but I don't know, I don't reach for them normally. And one random day, I just decided I'm gonna try and combine them. It's the Revlon Color Stay Normal to Dry Skin formula in the shade Sand Beige. I have had this foundation for far too long. I probably should throw it away, but I just feel like when I have a foundation, I need to finish it. So that's what I'm gonna try and do, and why I've been combining it. And then the Maybelline Superstay Better Skin. I am not a super fan of this. If I wear it by itself with a primer and a powder on a good day, it will last perfectly fine. But this is not, like, once I finish this, I'm definitely not gonna be repurchasing it. But the combination of these two together is so nice. You get the longevity of the Color Stay and the kind of like light, not cakey look of the Superstay. So together, these last all day, and they are just really nice. And I set them with a powder and I use a primer with them. Looks amazing, love it. Then I apply those foundations with a sponge lately. I've been using a brush, and like, I feel like every way that I've applied foundation within the past month, it has looked terrible. Like, I mean, I can get away with it, like it looks fine, but it looked, like I feel like my face has been extra like cakey. I don't know if it just needs a good exfoliating or what, but I've been reaching back into sponges for my whole face. This sponge looks so gross on camera. I just used it today. And I've been reaching back into sponges to kind of maybe get that lighter like look to it so it doesn't look as cakey. It's what I have like, or what I used on my face today, and I think it looks so nice. But this is the Real Technique sponge. I've also been using a beauty blender, and I've also been using the Ricky's NYC sponge that I talked about in my Ipsy video. What I use is the like this rounded side to kind of blend the foundation in. Then I use the pointed side for concealer, and then the flat side I normally use if I'm like baking, which is why you can see like the white powder on it. And I think this is a really nice sponge because you can use all the different angles and corners of it. I usually sometimes use this little ridge to kind of get it around my lips. I don't know. I just think it's a really good sponge. I like the beauty blenders. I like the NYC sponge, but I feel like this one is one that I always go back to because of its multi-angles, and it is so inexpensive. You can get like, I think a 2-pack at Ulta for like 10 bucks. So really, really nice there. For concealers, I also have a new combination. This is what I'm wearing under my eyes today, and I'm actually really in love with it. Like, I can't stop looking at my under eye area. I got back into using the Bare Minerals Bare Skin Concealer, which I do love on its own. It's really nice. I actually, this month, was told by my friend Stina to try and wear it as a foundation. And it, you know, it worked too. It was during like one of my cakey days. So, I mean, I feel like on a good day, it would look really good. But that was a whole other story. But I just kind of dot that around the eyes and blend it out like I normally would. This is a serum concealer, so it's kind of more liquidy than your classic concealers. And then I go in with the Maybelline Age Rewind concealer in the Brightener formula. This is the one that's kind of like a little bit pinky. And I just apply it right in the inner corner, right there, and blend that out. And I feel like it just really brightens up my face. Using this by itself, I feel like gives a really odd, like pinky glow. Like it works, I've used it before, but I just don't really know how I feel about using it just on its own like that. But I feel like mixing the two concealers really is nice because you get the skin toned kind of color of the Bare Skin concealer, and then the brightening of the Maybelline one. So good combination there. Then I have a blush that I've kind of rediscovered. I was watching Meg's, I think it's Meg, I can't decide if it's Meg's Makeup or Meg Fish, I don't know. Something like that. Megan, she knows who she is. She watches my videos. For some reason, Meg's Fish is in my head. I think that might be her Instagram. I don't know. Anyway, she did a whole series where she kind of shopped her stash and like took out some things that she wanted to try and see if she still likes, which kind of encouraged me to kind of go into my makeup collection and look over what I already have. Plus I got this new organizer thing and I wanted to like put some products in it and whatnot. And this is one of the products that I rediscovered. This is Bella Bamba by Benefit. I'm pretty sure they don't sell this anymore, which is so sad. It's such a pretty blush. But it's just a really nice like pink color, really kind of natural pink, nothing too crazy about it. It does need a little bit of building up, but once it is built up, it's really, really pretty on the cheeks. And what they say that you can do this with, it does have kind of like shimmer in it. So when you put it on your like apples of your cheeks, it's like shimmery, but then if you carry it back, it kind of looks different. Like they encourage you to carry it back. That's what it says on the box. It says to sweep on the apples of your cheeks and dot back here. I don't know why, but I just really like the look of this. I'm really sad that they discontinued it. And the box is really pretty. It's really like glowy. So really pretty blush. If you have it, I encourage you to take it out and start using it more. Then this next thing, I'm sorry, I'm like, I have a lot to cover. This next thing is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus eyeshadow primer. This is a product that I really don't get too excited about. Even the packaging is just like, meh, like black and white, whatever. But this is actually a pleasant surprise. This was really cheap. I got it for probably like $2 or $3 from CVS. And I mean, there's nothing super special about it, but I wanted to talk about it because it's a really nice primer. Like, I've tried the Maybelline one, the newer one that comes in the wand formula. I don't really like that. I've just had really like problems trying to find like eyeshadow bases or primers lately. I have like cream shadows, but I wanted something kind of like neutral, like, you know, like a regular primer would be, that doesn't really have a color that you can just put under anything. And this really surprised me. This was a really nice find. So it's a good buy at the drugstore. I know Milani has one that I really want to try too, because Emily Noel raves about it all the time. Then for eyeshadows, I've kind of been all over the place, but I have a few like standout things. The first thing is from this Revlon Color Stay quad in Adventurous. I used to be all about this quad. Like, I used to love it. I don't remember who I watched back in the day that used this for an eye look, but I was like, I really needed this. Now, in comparison to like a lot of the other shadows that I have, this, like the texture on these is really kind of like not the greatest. But this matte brown right here in the corner, I have been using to kind of blend out shadows or use in the crease. If I'm doing a look where it's just like one shimmery eyeshadow and I just want something going on in the crease or something, I don't know why, but I've been reaching for that brown and it's just been really pretty blended out. It's easy to blend because the formula on this is kind of powdery, so blending is not that hard with this. And I don't know, again, I really wanted to kind of shop my stash for things that I haven't used. This just happened to be one of those things. Then for eyeshadows, this is what I have more commonly used on the lid when I do reach for this. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Shadow in Iced Latte. I think Manny Anue has just discovered these, and so he's kind of encouraged me to reach in my collection for these. I have a couple. This one I think was the first one I ever got. You can see the dip that is in it. It's really cool. But it is so pretty. I mean, like, this is like a pressed pigment, basically. But the colors of this from the drug, you could even use that as like a face highlighter. I might have to do that tomorrow. But the colors of these at the drugstore are so good. These are probably some of the best eyeshadows from the drugstore. And again, I've just been kind of taking that shade and just like putting it on the lid. Really super pretty for easy summertime glowy looks with this. And then the Naked 3 palette has made its way back into my life. It's what I'm wearing on my eyes today, only I am really loving this look. This palette I brought home over the weekend, and I was just more like I need to reincorporate this because it's been forever since I've used this palette. Because for a time I felt like you could only really get like 1 or 2 looks with this palette, you know? When it first came out, I like needed it. Like I was in love with it. I watched every swatch video. I thought it was just so pretty. It is really pretty. But once I got it, I felt like you could only make like a certain number of looks with this palette for it to, you know, really be good. So I hadn't used it in a really long time, and I recently brought it home for a weekend, started using it, was like really impressed with the look. It was something similar to this. And I don't know, I've been reaching for it and like looking at it and stuff more often. Today I have the shade Dust all over the lid, and then I basically went in with Limit as a transition shade, and then Black Heart in the crease and outer corner. And it's really simple, really elegant, I think, looking. I just am in love with how it looks. Let's zoom in on it. I don't know, I'm just really into it, and yeah. But yeah, loving this palette. And then I have a highlighter, and it's actually from the Too Faced Bon Bon palette, and it's the shade Satin Sheets. I'm not gonna stay on this too long because I'm pretty sure I've talked about this before too, but it is just a gorgeous highlight. It doesn't even really look like anything there, but when you swatch it, I don't know what it is. That highlighter, or that like shadow, makes the most doll-like highlighter ever. I don't know, I just feel like when I wear it, it's just so pretty, especially like right above the Cupid's bow and like on the chin and nose, and then right along here too. It just looks so gorgeous. Love it. And then my last makeup product is a lip product. I made that NYX video, and it kind of made me rediscover the butter glosses. I have been wearing this over really pretty much anything. I don't have it on today, but even when I just have no lipstick on and I just want like a little color and like a little juiciness to my lips, this is what I put on. Secret, whenever I Skype with my boyfriend, I always put this on my lips. So I know he'll probably watch that video, so I thought I would throw that in. But yeah, this color is so pretty. Always like pop on a little bit of gloss before those kinds of things. And this has been the one that I've been going for more recently, so love it. This is the shade Creme Brulee, and it's a nice like pinky, juicy looking color. So yeah, I've been loving that too. Now, can we talk about my most recent obsession? The show Steven Universe on Cartoon Network. I know most of you ladies or guys, whoever is watching this, probably is like, isn't that a cartoon? Like, it's on Cartoon Network, it's a child. No, I have recently spent the past like 2 or 3 days binge watching the entire series up to the point where it's at right now, where they're like starting to release new ones. It's so good. The first like season, I think, is a lot of like mundane filler episodes where you kind of like just get to know the characters. But then like from season 2 onward, it's a continuous storyline. Basically, the show is about this little boy named Steven who is part of the like crystal gems, which are like an alien-esque like race that comes to Earth to help save it from like other aliens or whatever. But I don't know, it sounds so hard to explain, but basically they're all like gem related. So you have like Pearl, which is like more of like an uptight kind of perfectionist type character. You have Amethyst, which is like this kind of rowdy, messy girl character. And then you have Garnet, which is the more like reserved, rational kind of character. And then you have Steven, who is like this little, I think like 13, 14-year-old boy who is a half human, half crystal gem, whose dad fell in love with Rose Quartz, which is my favorite character ever. And then Rose Quartz had to like give herself to be like, had to basically die in order to give Steven his life or whatever. And they just go around and they save the planet from other aliens. And it's just, I don't know what it is. I have been putting off watching this show for forever, or I've just watched like one episode here and there. And finally, I hung out with my friend a couple weekends ago, and she loves it. So she kind of like talked me into continuing to watch it. And thank God I did. Thank God I made it past season 1, because once you hit like a certain point in season 1 where it quits being more like filler and then it becomes more of the continuous storyline, I just could not stop watching it. And the episodes are like 11 minutes long, so like it's easy to just kind of binge through them rather than sit through like an hour each episode or whatever. I don't know. It's a kid's show. It's a cartoon. Take what you will of it. But I loved it, and it was definitely a favorite of mine. I just finished it yesterday, and now I'm like, what do I do now? Like, what show do I watch now? But yeah, I don't know. I just think like mindless little cartoons like that are super fun because you don't really have to think about anything. There's a storyline that's easy to follow because it's for children. But yeah, and it actually, you know, I feel like that's one of those cartoons that adults can watch too and still like have fun watching it. It's not like mindless where you just totally shut your brain off. Like there is, I don't know, I just thought it was a nice like combination. Like kids can watch it, teens can watch it, like adults can, you know, find good things from it. I think it's really cool. So I definitely recommend that show. If you've watched Steven Universe, let me know in the comments. I really want to like geek out about it with somebody. But anyway, that's all I have for my favorites. I hope you guys enjoyed this super long video. I'm sorry that my videos are so long and I just ramble. But if you did, give it a thumbs up and let me know down below what you've been loving this month. I really appreciate reading the comments. Even if I forget to respond to them, I swear. I get notified when people comment on my videos on my phone, and I just like, I see it and then I just totally forget to go back and like respond to it. So I apologize if I'm not the like quickest to respond to things, but I do see every comment that comes on my videos. So let me know what your favorites are down below. And until next time, I will talk to you guys soon. I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye.